Yo, what is good with y'all young boys and girls? I'm saying Thoughts. This is SaneLife. I got a very special requested video for you guys today. We got a what if. What if Krillin had a power up? Now, throughout Dragon Ball, we've seen Krillin get a power up before, whether it was when he was training on Kami's Tower with Yamcha and Tien, or whether he got a power up from, I think it was the Grand Elder, that the old Namekian off of Planet Namek, when him and Gohan both got a power up. So we've seen Krillin have power ups throughout the whole Dragon Ball series, but we're just gonna see how she actually has her vision played out of Krillin getting the power up. So let's just get right into the story. I'm not gonna talk your head off. If you guys enjoy, leave a like. Let's get right into it, man. Powerhouse. That's a nice shot of Krillin.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Powerhouse, your new favorite place for anime and other media webtoons.
She a cute looking Saiyan.
Starting with what is arguably the quintessential shonen series, Dragon Ball Z. I'm
Dragon
your
Ball
host,
Z.
Sophie B, and for the channel's debut episode, I am very pleased to present to you the first installment of a series I like to call Dragon Ball AU.
Okay.
Or Dragon Ball Alternate Universe.
Oh, that's what it stands for.
Contemplate some what-ifs that significantly alter the timeline of the Dragon Ball world.
Okay.
For our first excursion into the domain of alternate universes, I posit to you this question. What if Krillin had a power-up? Or, more accurately, I suppose, what if Krillin had a transformation? Now, I know—
A transformation?
Sophie, you degenerate. You can't just hand out power-ups willy-nilly. You're breaking the established lore. Humans don't have transformations.
Right.
Without Zenkai boosts or Super Saiyan
I don't think any
or artificial enhancements, the humans are going to plateau.
Right.
They just won't be relevant after the Frieza saga. Hell, they aren't even all that relevant after the Saiyan saga.
They're not.
Well, let me stop you there. I'm not saying we need to go around changing up human genetics. In fact, I'm not even saying we have to give the humans new techniques. This isn't something that has to be solved with some extreme measure, like using the Dragon Balls to wish for Saiyan genes or the ability
Saiyan genes.
Indeed, we can achieve something greater for humanity within the scope of canon, even in the immediate aftermath of the Saiyan saga, without having to rely on something like that at all. You see, the primary Dragon Ball canon has never really acknowledged what a lot of its periphery media has always taken as kind of a given. Humans should learn the Kaioken. Not even so much that they could—
Wait a minute. Now that I'm thinking about it, no humans learned it. Cause I could have sworn, yeah, no humans learned the Kaioken.
To learn it, but that they outright should. It's a very early and straightforward DBZ power boost, and it could have helped.
But King Kai could have taught it to either of them.
All the way back to Namek. Unfortunately, the Kaioken's power comes with a cost, and said cost is largely why the technique got dropped after the Frieza saga. Well, that and its incompatibility with the original Super Saiyan transformations. Kaioken's flaw is that it increases ki output without increasing the body's ability to handle said output.
Right.
So unless you're a Saiyan like Goku, anyone that tries to use
they're gonna
it
die.
is gonna wind up hospitalized.
Right.
And without the benefit of a Zenkai boost to boot. Not much of a power-up, right? Well, my friends, we might just be able to mitigate that. And for the solution, we look to the original master himself, Roshi. Let us travel back to after Goku and Vegeta's grand battle in the Wasteland. The Prince of all Saiyans has fled into space, and while the heroes may be victorious, they paid a heavy price. Yamcha, Chaozu, Shenhan,
they're all gone.
Kami, the Dragon Balls themselves,
they're all gone.
All are gone. In addition to this, it will be some time before the remaining Z fighters recover from the aftermath of the fight. There will be no Senzu beans for a long while yet. Our heroes are wounded, and they are without any means of undoing the damage caused by the Saiyan rampage. They are given a sliver of hope in the form of Mr. Popo, who tells them of Kami's spacecraft which can take them to his homeworld of Namek once repaired. It is in these moments where the path diverges. When Master Roshi travels with Bulma and the others to visit the Z-Fighters in hospital before the arrival of Popo, he remarks upon the damage Goku has sustained in his protection of Earth. Goku explains that Vegeta isn't even responsible for the bulk of it. Yeah, it was a great fight. Too bad that the Kaioken tears me up so bad, though. The doctors say I'm not going to be able to train for weeks.
Hey, that man Goku said Vegeta, he's a threat, but he didn't fuck me up. It was really the Kaioken technique that fucked me up.
About the side effect of the technique, Roshi asks Goku to explain the specifics, which the Saiyan does. Intrigued, Roshi ruminates on the nature of the Kaioken for a while, pondering it even as Popo arrives to take Bulma to Kami's spacecraft. Later, when the course of action they all must take becomes clear, the ancient turtle hermit has a sobering realization. The only fighters remaining for the trip to Namek are woefully underpowered and unprepared.
Right.
Particularly if the Namekian people are anything like Piccolo and Kami. That's to say nothing of the possibility that threats like Vegeta may very well be commonplace in outer space, and Roshi doubts they've seen the last of the Prince of All Saiyans.
Oh, y'all have not seen the last.
He considers for a long while. If Krillin and Gohan, and Goku after he recovers, travel to Namek only to fail, then Earth will have lost all of its champions, while simultaneously revealing itself as a target to the likes of alien tyrants like the Saiyans. It took everything Goku had, and then some, to defend Earth in the last battle. And their plan is to send off Krillin and Gohan? No, something more must be done.
Don't forget, they send a Bulma too.
Trump card. Suddenly, it dawns on him. Roshi returns to the hospital, where he greets Goku with a single question. Would King Kai be willing to speak with me? King Kai responds to Roshi's question personally, via telepathy. King Kai speaking, what's up?
She got the voiceover.
On Kaioken, and begins to explain about a special technique he invented long ago. Full power. You know, guys, muscle form. Buff Roshi. The technique was designed to counter the powerful effects of increased ki on his aging body. While the current iteration only lasts a few minutes at best, he believes that not only could it be improved, but with a deeper knowledge of the Kaioken, the two skills could synergize into something incredible.
What? So hold on. They're gonna use what's his name? Master Roshi's buff technique and combined it with the Kaioken? There's no way Krillin's body can handle that. I don't think Krillin's body can handle that.
Possible, the voyage to Namek will have a much higher chance of success. King Kai agrees. Over the course of the next week, Roshi and King Kai communicate with one another, sharing insight. Roshi's power level may be low compared to those of his former pupils, but he is still the greatest martial arts mind on the planet, with over 300 years of experience. We know this for a fact, because even in Dragon Ball Super, Goku and Krillin are still learning things from Master Roshi.
That's true.
Even with him being woefully underpowered.
Mm-hmm.
He receives a crash course in the workings of the Kaioken, while giving King Kai a crash course on the workings of the full power transformation. After 7 days of dialogue with King Kai, Roshi comes to understand everything about the theory of Kaioken, even if he's unable to put it to practical use, much like King Kai himself. Before they depart one another's mental company, the Kai gifts Roshi with one other very special piece of insight. For this plan to work, he must ask the caretaker of Kami's lookout about the special room. In the meantime, King Kai
Why does he want to know that?
The deceased Z-Fighters, now traveling on Snake Way, will receive the most thorough training he can offer them once they arrive. With 3 days remaining until the completion of the refit for Kami's spacecraft, Roshi travels to Capsule Corp. There, he meets with Popo, who has been instructing Bulma in the basics of the Namekian language. He asks him about the secret room, and Popo explains. The
Hyperbolic Time Chamber.
Its ability to stretch a day into a year is an incredible boon, but it is also...
I don't care what nobody said. That concept of the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, that was a good concept that they incorporated into the series, because whenever I'm in the gym, I used to be like, training, I'm like, man, I'm in a hyperbolic time chamber, but these niggas not gonna fuck with me. So it's just like, just seeing Goku and Gohan train, and also seeing Vegeta and Trunks train in there. I don't think we really saw Vegeta and Trunks train, did we? Y'all let me know. I remember seeing Goku and Gohan training there, but I don't remember Vegeta and Trunks training. But I know they trained in there, but I don't think they showed it in the show.
Or weak-minded, and the physical strain on the body is immense, equivalent to 10 times that of standard Earth gravity. Furthermore, only 2 can enter the chamber at a time. Kami refused to use it when training the Z-Fighters in preparation for the Saiyans. But if King Kai has made a judgment in favor of Roshi's plan, Popo will defer to him and open the door. Roshi hesitates. It'll need to be him and one other. There are
Krillin?
only two options available: his former pupil, Krillin, and the 5-year-old Gohan. The choice is
Take
simple.
Krillin.
He
Come on now.
won't risk Chi-Chi's wrath. Krillin will accompany him into the chamber. And so, Krillin once again becomes a student of the Turtle Hermit. The first 6 months are the most grueling. Harsh training in 10 times gravity, while Roshi...
This is a really crazy concept. This is a really crazy concept. I'm sorry for pausing, y'all. I won't pause it no more. But just imagine Krillin in the hyperbolic time chamber. Think of how strong he can become. This is a crazy concept.
Into Krillin's mind and body, and simultaneously works to further develop the usability of the full power technique. The time limit needs improvement. The bulky muscle mass will need to be condensed to not hinder mobility, and it'll need to be ready by the time Krillin achieves his first breakthrough with the Kaioken. At the end of those first 6 months, the breakthrough finally comes. Now,
What?
before you say anything regarding Goku needing a year to learn Kaioken in the Spirit
Right.
Bomb, please remember that Goku spent some time on Snake Way before ever reaching King Kai's planet. And he was explicitly not taught anything technical until after catching Bubbles and striking Gregory.
I remember that.
Goku's natural talent that allowed him to learn the Kamehameha in minutes, literal minutes, and the understanding that a large portion of his training time had nothing to do with learning the Kaioken or Spirit Bomb, we can very safely assume that he likely worked out the techniques over the course of only a few months each, possibly even less than that. By comparison, a 6-month learning curve for Krillin seems very fair, especially since Krillin and Goku were once framed in the narrative as standing, close enough to equal ground in martial arts potential.
That didn't last long, though.
Dragon Ball, at least, and before the reveal that Goku was a
Silly.
superpowered alien baby. So, upon achieving a practical understanding of the Kaioken, it's now time for Krillin to move on to the next step: mastering the full power transformation.
Let's get
It's
it.
difficult work, and the nature of the technique is unlike anything else he has ever learned. With only a couple of weeks left, Krillin finally manages to perfect the technique.
Perfected?
No time to lose.
He perfected the
Right
technique?
before the door opens, the Turtle Hermit and his student experiment with combining Kaioken and full power. In the end, the experiment is a resounding success. The transformation is subtle, yet remarkable. A clear, yet not too bulky increase in muscle.
I'm sorry, but I need to see the actual picture of Krillin with Kaioken and full power. I need to see it. That picture on the top right corner does no justice. I need to actually see a picture of it. Whoever created this, Sophia, I don't know her YouTube name, but when you're animating the story, you have to show it. You have to show it. Sorry, you created this storyline. You have to show the graphic picture of Krillin. Full power. Kaioken. You have to. You just have to.
Mass, the fiery red aura of the Kaioken, and even a marginal increase in height all add up to turn Krillin into a somewhat more intimidating figure than he's ever been before.
Intimidating?
Christen the new technique Kaiohenshin, meaning transformation of the king of the worlds.
Kaiohenshin. I like
The
that.
transformation manages to achieve a stable power of roughly 1.5 times base power level, without the damaging drawbacks of standard Kaioken, and with nearly an hour of transformation time. Roshi proudly posits that,
Bro, that transformation has a lot of kicks.
By double to nearly quadruple naturally when using techniques like the Kamehameha or the Special Beam Cannon, a calculation we know thanks to Raditz's scouter readings of Goku and Piccolo. And given that full power was designed for just such an increased output, achieving a safe and stable 2 times, 3 times, or even 4 times output, such as Goku displayed in his battle with Vegeta, should be feasible very soon. Unfortunately, any such output would have an exponentially diminished time limit with each increase in power level. There will be more time to meditate upon the nature of the hybrid technique on the trip to Namek, and with years and years of life ahead of him, hopefully, Krillin may very well be able to achieve even greater power multipliers in the future. For the present, Roshi tells Krillin to be proud of the other gains he made during their training. The time chamber has 10 times Earth's gravity, which just so happens to be the same level of gravity as King Kai's planet.
Yeah, I remember
We
that.
know that Goku entered intense training there. We also know that, thanks to Raditz and Vegeta's scouter readings, Goku's power level increased by nearly 20 times in only 1 year, from 416 to over 8,000! Of course, even disregarding a possible Zenkai boost, is the jury still out on if you receive one when you actually die? We know that Krillin won't have made the same gains. We can make a few calculations, though. His growth from 1 year of training on the Lookout was still pretty large, jumping from 206 up to 1770.
Woo!
That's an 8.5 times increase,
Damn,
despite
Krillin!
normal gravity. Considering that information, if we round up Krillin's base power level to a nice even 1800 after Vegeta's defeat, and account for the benefit of training for 1 year and 10 times gravity, it isn't far-fetched to believe that Krillin's strength could easily increase by as much as 10 times. Only half the growth of Goku on King Kai's planet, yet enough to put Krillin squarely at
if I had to train on King Kai planet or the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, I'm going with the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Who y'all going with? I'm just going with the Hyperbolic Time Chamber because I get to train in outside world. It's a year. Is it a year? All I know, in outside world, it's a longer time than when you're actually inside the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. So I will, and plus it has the gravity of the King Kai. That's the gravity of King Kai's planet. That's a lot of benefits. So I would choose to train in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. I don't know about y'all, but y'all let me know where y'all want to train at.
18,000. The very same as Vegeta when the Saiyans arrived on Earth. His training complete, and with only a couple of days left before the team blasts off, Krillin takes a well-deserved rest. 34 days after launching from Earth, the team lands on Namek.
Uh-oh.
Krillin has spent the journey meditating on the nature of the Kaioshin, while also participating in
I really like that name of it, Kaioshin.
and extensive image training with Gohan, bringing the boy's power to a bit more than it was in canon. After all, the stronger your sparring partner, the better your gains, even if the sparring is basically only physical torture on your part, right? That was the message behind Resurrection F, right? Anyway, instead of being roughly around an unsuppressed 6,000, Gohan's now closer to about an unsuppressed 9,000. As in the canon, Vegeta and Kui land on Namek very shortly after our protagonists, followed by the assault on Dende's village by the Frieza forces. However, even with the two of them stronger than their original counterparts by this point, Gohan and Krillin aren't gonna want to start a dust-up.
You know they not.
Doria still have larger base power levels. Their boss's power level is beyond the pale. Even with Kaioshin, it wouldn't just be a losing battle, it would be a joke. There's no reason for Krillin to play his trump.
So then what was the fucking point of him getting this transformation if he still has no chance? I thought this would give him at least a fighting chance.
Card this early, so when the soldiers are distracted, they save Dende and escape. After this, a series of rapid-fire events in much the same form as canon occur. Dodoria chases Krillin and Gohan, only to be intercepted and killed by Vegeta. After dealing with Dodoria, the Prince of All Saiyans sets his
The Prince of All Saiyans.
Krillin and Gohan, meanwhile, are remarking...
This is when I became a fan of Vegeta in this Planet Namek arc.
This Krillin isn't frightened at the prospect. Not at all. You see, Krillin knows letting Vegeta escape back on Earth was a mistake. And now, the same...
He wanted to kill him.
The Namekian Dragon Balls. Well, he isn't gonna let that monster have them. For the moment, however, their focus has to be on getting young Dende to safety, and gathering the uncollected Dragon Balls before this Frieza guy's soldiers do. But Krillin is keeping his senses aware of Vegeta, which turns out to be fortuitous for a certain clan of Namekians. As Krillin and Gohan return to Bulma with Dende for a short respite before leaving to meet the Namekian elder, Guru, Krillin senses Vegeta heading toward another energy source, one that feels similar to the village that Frieza's men were pillaging. Oh no, he doesn't. It's time to take his special move for a test ride.
Uh-oh, okay.
Krillin instructs Gohan to take Dende to Guru.
Let's see how that new transformation is looking, Krillin.
All the stops and arrives just in the nick of time. Before Vegeta can incinerate the kindly village, he senses a notable power level moving toward him. No matter.
What's that? A power level? Over there?
Middling for a Frieza enforcer.
If I'm lucky, one of those pathetic aliens wounded Zarbon, and I'll have the pleasure of finishing the job.
I like the voiceover they give him.
Instead, who should land in front of him but one of the Earthlings, glaring at him with disdain. How did this human, One of the weaker ones, he recalls, picked up on Namek. Bah, what does it matter? He'll die as easily as these slug people, even if he appears to be stronger than he was on Earth. His thoughts turn uncertain, however, as Krillin begins to power up. Kaio Henshin!
Yes, sir.
Krillin transforms, and Vegeta is dumbfounded by the sudden leap in power. This energy, it's the same as what he felt from Kakarot back on Earth. But the Prince of All Saiyans will not be cowed. The two men face each other and take up their fighting stances.
He actually fought Vegeta?
What will Krillin be able to accomplish within the limitations of his new power? And how much will this battle, and those to come, be affected by the actions of King Kai and Master Roshi? What do these machinations entail for the deceased Z fighters?
This is the end of it.
Find out next
time on Dragon Ball AU.
And if you enjoyed this...
Okay, that was the end of it. I like it. I'm not even gonna lie, I like this story, man. It's really interesting because I wanted to see what kind of power up they was going to give Krillin, but it seemed like it was just it was going to be Master Roshi's full power form combined with his Kaioken, and it's going to be called Kaioshin, something like that. Kaioshin. I don't know. I hope I'm saying it right. But yeah, it sounded pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, I still need that graphic image of Krillin in this form, in this transformation. I need to see it. So whoever that's making these stories, please. That's all I ask. That's all. I just want to see it. I want to see some graphic overlays of it. But all in all, this was a good story. If you wrote this, is actually a good story that you put together. Like, I don't know how long it took you to make this, but it's actually a good story. But any other videos you guys want me to react to, just comment down below. I'm Sane Thoughts. This is the SaneLife. And until next time, I'm out, bro.